think it's been a great run out for the guys that are obviously in the squad. I think in general, around the whole tournament, even the guys that aren't in the squad, I think it's been a great performance from them. And a lot of the leagues, sometimes you rely a lot on your overseas players, and I like to think that a lot of the South African players stepped up nicely. And it's a nice run out. I mean, there's no better practice going into a big tournament, and that's playing cricket. So it's been competitive cricket. There's been some difficult pitches that the guys have played on, which I really enjoyed. It does prep you quite well for a World Cup coming up. So you're very chuffed that the guys have had a run out, and a lot of confidence going into the tournament.
Which South African players, name three who have impressed you most this season?
What ones in the squad, or just anyone? Anyone. Okay. So first of all, I'm happy that it's to see KG Rabada running in again. Obviously coming back from injury, he was very nervous going into that first few games. Obviously that's natural with an injury, but to see him running in, bowling quick again first of all, but hitting those lengths that we've come to know so well. So happy to see KG going. I've been really impressed by a guy called Jordan Herman. I think he's definitely got something about him. In 4-day cricket he usually bats up at the top of the order, and now in this series he's been batting in the middle in the T20s, and I think he's got something about him. He's quite a nuggety player, and he's got the big game, he's got the small game, and he runs hard between the wickets, good field and a good team man. So I've been really impressed by him. And let's go young. Kobani Makwena, I think he's definitely got something about him. I mean, he's only 19 years old. He's in the league now playing for Paul Royals, and I think he's definitely got a bright future ahead of him. I thought he has been brilliant. The way he's gone about the big moments in the game, the way he's controlled his bowling first of all, but controlled his emotions throughout the big moments. So I'm very chuffed with him. And we can throw the Aiden Markrams, who's done really well. We can talk about Marco Jansen, but those are the three guys that I'm really happy have performed really well. They've impressed me.
We have seen a lot of seamers do really well this season, which I think was the case last year also. But what does that mean when you go into the T20 World Cup, where the spinners will be more dominant and the ball will be slow, pitches will be slow? So how do you see that?
So you're telling me the pitches are going to be slow in India?
They're always
Because in IPL they weren't slow when I played. They were flat and got smashed all over the place. Look, I think Keshav Maharaj has bowled beautifully. That's been vital to the Pretoria Capitals doing well. He's bowled really well. He's led well first of all, but when he's coming in crunch moments, and maybe a slightly slow start to the tournament, but he's figured out a way on different types of pitches to do the business. So very tough to see him doing well. George Linder's obviously bowled really, really nicely, and if we can get those two bowling in tandem and really asking the right questions of batters, international batters, then we'll be in good stead. But look, unfortunately, I'm a big fan of spinners in T20 cricket because I do think they affect the game a lot, even when the wicket is good. We've seen at a place like Centurion now, it's a paradise to bat on, but if you look at the stats, the spinners are the ones that actually break partnerships. So, like I said, it's been all in all a good run-out because we've had different types of wickets. And for our spinners, our seamers, our batters, it's been a good build-up because the wickets haven't been as consistent as they have been in the past in South Africa. So it's been a nice run-out for the boys.
Also, the number of boundaries and the sixes that are scored in the SA20 have sort of started going down over the years. It's also sort of following the trend from last year. What does that mean for T20 cricket as a whole, and what does that mean for the league? Where we used to seeing big scores, big sort of totals being scored in the IPL, all those sort of leagues. But here there is sort of an anomaly to the whole thing.
I think the bowlers are getting better. That's why. I mean, it's a batter's game. No, I'm joking. Look, I think weather has a lot to play with it. To be very honest, specifically this year, we've had a lot of weather up in the high veld. Even in Durban, we've had a lot of rain. Cape Town has seen a little bit, so it does affect the pitches, unfortunately. And we all know as batters, it's difficult just to go out there and play your natural game when the wicket's a little bit difficult. So, look, maybe the tactics have gotten better. Maybe the bowlers are a lot smarter. Maybe the batters are maybe applying themselves a little bit more. I don't know, but I would potentially say that yes, the wickets haven't been as, well, I don't want to say flat, but as true, if you want to call it, in South Africa, just because unfortunately we have been hampered by a lot of weather, which is unfortunate. So the rest of that, I'm going to just praise the bowlers. I think the bowlers have gotten better. It's about time the bowlers do well.
And also, in terms of the ODI World Cup, is it too early to tell how things will play out based on this competition itself? Or?
Yeah, listen, it's a year and a couple of months from now, so it will be very early to call it. Obviously, I know South Africa were trying the drop-in pitches, and other wonders have used it, and they were quite impressed with it. So, look, all those different elements might be changed. Next year we might have a dry year, and the wickets will be very true. But I've got no doubt, every single time there's been a big tournament in South Africa, the wickets have been really good. So I've got no doubt in that. And, it's a lot of elements that can, but like I said, it's a long time away. So, yeah, I'm sure we'll be okay.
All right.
One more question. As SA20 in fourth season, and in last 3 years, we have seen South African cricket going up performance-wise. Men's team T20 finalist, WTC champion, even women's team ODI World Cup finalist. Do you think there is a correlation between this league and money coming through this league to South African cricket, benefiting South African cricket in general?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, it's quite nice to have a league that's on the world stage. Obviously our domestic cricket has been shown around the world, but it's nice to have an actual league that is competing with all the other leagues around the world. And obviously the Indian influence with the IPL teams and stuff coming in, and a blind man can see that it's made a massive impact on cricket in South Africa. To get some of the big names around the world to come and play in our league. First of all, I think the international players enjoy coming here. First of all, the crowds are always here. The cricket's good. That's the main reason, is that the cricket's really good. But you've got crowds. It's a great country to be in. The food's good. Everything else is also good. We won't talk about. But yeah, it's just a great league all in all. And like I said, it's not too long, which is also nice. But I think a lot of guys love bringing their families here. They get to experience different things. And yeah, the Betway SA20 is a phenomenal product. And hopefully it continues for quite a few years from now, because I absolutely love being part of it.
Picking up from there, you were part of the previous rendition of the T20 competition that was floated in this country. How do you see that being different and being from SA20? And what sort of improvements that have taken place?
Look, again, I'll just say straight, it's the influence of the IPL teams. You've got the names that people are known in the world, the teams that are known to households in South Africa. We watch IPL every single year. People watch every single game, and when you've got teams like that, people can start supporting the team that they support in the IPL. They can do it in South Africa. So, there's a lot of teams missing, obviously, from the IPL that are in the Betway SA20. But, maybe in the future there'll be new teams. We don't know. But I think that correlation with that, and obviously, like I say, when you've got that support base already in South Africa and you bring those teams across here, it's quite easy to dig into something. And world-class players, world-class cricket, and in a country that really loves its cricket. So, I think that's the difference.
Yeah, so it was a question about you. Like, you have played in T20 leagues across the world. Now you're a TV commentator, cricket commentator. Apart from that, do you do something else professionally? Like, do you have a side hustle also?
No, this is my side hustle. No, look, obviously cricket was my job for I think 15 years. Obviously IPL was very good to me in terms of the auctions and stuff like that. And I was being away from home for so long. I don't want to leave really. So to be a commentator in South Africa, first of all, the SA20 obviously, but when we've got, every now and then we'll do the IPL if I'm wanted. I've done the Major League Cricket. I've done, I do domestic cricket in South Africa. I do test matches here. So for me, I can't think of anything better than watching cricket and calling what I see as a job. So absolutely love it. I mean, there's a reason why we played cricket. It's because we love the game, and I still love the game more than ever. I never want to play it again. I'll be very honest with you, because my body will break. But yeah, for me, like I said, I can't think of anything better than coming to work and watching cricket and trying to educate and teach people about the game that I love, and hopefully, some people will fall in love with the game because of potentially what I say. But yeah, it's a nice thing to do because I love the game.
In modern cricket, do you think it is going to be harder as a fast bowling all-rounder, or fast bowling better batting all-rounder or bowling all-rounder? And which role did you enjoy more?
Listen, I think there's no facet of the game that isn't easy, that isn't difficult. Whether you're a batter, you're a bowler, it's all difficult. All-rounders, obviously, we've got 3 jobs: bat, you bowl, you field, and some days it's not going to go well with the ball. But the nice thing is you can always make it up with the bat, and some days it's not going to go well with the bat, and you can make it up with the ball. So it's a tough gig being an all-rounder. But listen, those are the guys. That's the engine room, as I call them. Those are the guys that do make the difference in games at the end of the day, is the all-rounders, because you can change the game in any aspect. As far as a favourite, I probably would have had to say I preferred bowling. Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't really enjoy facing the faster boys towards the end of my career. They were rather quick, and me dishing out a few bounces, I knew they were coming back to me. So, look, my main role in the team was to bowl. That simple as that. So, I probably focused more on my bowling, because that would have been my way into a team. And the fact that I could bat and the fact that I could actually hopefully change a game towards the end was a bonus. But bowling was, for me, I love the fact being at the end of a game, and potentially my role was to try save a game, or try get the winning wicket, or defend 10 off the last over. There's no bigger thrill than that.
from preparation point of view, just before T20 World, this league is so good. But with lot of traveling, and their body needs are different. Also, South Africa has to play West Indies and then 1 or 2 practice matches.
Yeah.
So in a short duration, they have to play around 15 to 18 matches. How would see the effects on the body?
Well, look, I think the proof's in the pudding. I think we've had a few guys that have gone down with injuries, unfortunately. Look, it is it is a very tight schedule. That's unfortunate. That's the nature of the beast. That we, and players, we knew it was players. They knew what was coming. Obviously, you're playing day in, day out, and look, don't put it past the RPL. It's the same, because you've obviously got travelling, you've got games, high intensity games. You go to bed late at night, and next morning you're up, you're travelling, and then you've got to go to a hotel, check in, and the next day you've got training and recovery and all of that. So it is about man management. Obviously, the coaching staff, they know exactly what they need to do. Potentially, there could be a case of maybe rotating squads, but when you've got a good team that's winning and trying to get into a playoff, you don't really want to do that. So it's difficult. It really is tough on the body. Mentally, it really does drain you. But look, end of the day, you find a way. As we always talk about in cricket, as a professional cricketer, you find a way to do something. You find a way to win a game. You find a way to almost say get up for the game, which means getting ready for the game. You want to be excited. There's something to play for. So, look, it is tough, but unfortunately. Fortunately, we've got a couple of fit boys. We've had a few injuries, hopefully not too bad, and they should be ready for the World Cup. Hopefully.
Last question, please.
You on the calling the game aspect of it all. What is your process like as a commentator, as someone? I mean, how much time do you give to research, to reading about athletes, or do you prefer, or is there a certain different method than everyone else?
No, I'll watch a lot of cricket. My wife sometimes doesn't like it, but I watch cricket because I have to stay in touch with what's happening in the game. I commentate in domestic cricket, yes. So it's nice to commentate because you can see the youngsters that are coming through. So when they do eventually get to the SA20, I've watched them play, I've commentated on them, I've seen their development, and I know what they're doing in the game. So that's my process. We get sent a lot of emails before a game from our statistician, and then you look through what the stats are and you do a little bit of homework. As I call it homework. So, but the biggest thing for me is I actually watch the games. I try and find out know what's going on in the tournament. Watch results from the day before, so when I do get on air the next day, I can always refer to what I watched. So, this is probably the toughest time for my wife because I watch every day. I watch cricket. So, I'm a big believer in staying in touch with what's going on first of all, and staying in touch with the relevant players because you've played against a lot of the guys, but to see the new guys come through, you have to know what they're all about. So, that's my process.